Manchester United 3, West Ham 0. And wow, there's some serious young talent at Manchester United. Kobbie Mainoo, Rasmus Hojlund and Alejandro Garnacho, the stars of the show, 18, 19 and turned 21 today. 3 players for United to build around, but Diego Dalot put in a fantastic shift. Luke Shaw had a really good game. Martinez was really good, and hopefully he's not injured again. I thought Martinez and Maguire had a good first half together. I thought United weren't brilliant in the first half, and I think 1-1 would have been a fair score at half-time. West Ham were very potent from set pieces, with 75% of their XG coming from set pieces today. But all in all, I think United got a lot better in the second half, but Clinical deserved the win. And special players like Hojlund and Garnacho is the reason why Man United won today. They're young players that can create those moments. Rasmus Hojlund has 10 goals this season in all competitions. Jude Bellingham is the only player under the age of 21 that has more non-penalty goals than Rasmus Hojlund. Hojlund has more goals than Cody Gakpo, Nicholas Jackson, Gabriel Jesus, Eddie Nketiah, Kai Havertz, to name among many players. Callum Wilson as well. Rasmus Hojlund, scored 4 goals in his last 4 Premier League games, got 2 assists to go along with that. Now he's got 1. The goals keep coming in for Rasmus Hojlund. He's recovering from his injury. He's more nimble. He's more physical. He's getting the goals. He's getting the confidence. And he makes those goals out of nothing. He scored a goal from 0.016 XG today, creating space for himself, making a good move, making a good dribble. Absolutely quality player in Rasmus Hojlund. Absolutely quality player. The way he can dribble, he's 6'3", uses his frame to dribble and get around people. His ability to create chances for himself is madness. He maybe had to learn how to do that because he got nothing created for him. And the fact that this guy has got basically a lower sort of chances created for him than pretty much all the other strikers in the Premier League, and he's showing his quality shows. He's only just turned 21. He's still got a long way to grow, but the ball's beginning to stick to his feet. He's beginning to get better, and I don't even think he's fully sharp yet. And I think his dribbling is good. I think his frame is good, but his manipulation of the ball in tight spaces, his ability to shift his both feet is something that you see in a top player. Not just ability to score goals and get in the box, but ability on the ball to create chances. Also, his runs in behind, his dribbling, his movement. He creates space for opponents. He even creates for opponents when he's on the ball. He links up play well, he holds up the ball well, and he draws defenders up, and he's got a good IQ. And I can 100% see there's a really good player in Rasmus Hojlund, and he was getting a lot of hate, a lot of stick. You had talk sport going on and on. Oh, Hojlund isn't ready for the Premier League. Hojlund isn't ready for the Premier League. And I did countless videos defending Rasmus Hojlund, saying I've seen enough from his Champions League display to know that Hojlund is good enough for the Premier League, to know that he's a good player. And I think Man United weren't brilliant today. They lacked control, and there was a few negatives. And I will definitely talk about this in tomorrow's video, when we're going to do a 5 things we learned from the game. So do subscribe for that. I will dive into it a little bit at the end of today's video, but I think there was a lot of positives. They had, Man United had their 2 best had their best players back these last 2 games, their best 11s, bar maybe odd 1 or 2 player. Man United a month ago, only Sheffield United has scored less goals than them this season. They've scored 7 goals in the last 2 games. They beat Wolves, they beat West Ham. West Ham was 6th above Manchester United, and Wolves have been on a really, really good run and dominated Chelsea 4-2. So a win versus Wolves and a win versus West Ham, 2 very difficult games that United won, and in the end they did deserve to win those games. They made the Wolves game difficult for themselves. West Ham had a really good first half, and we were lucky to be 1-up in the first half, but we did enough in the second half. There's a lot of areas to improve: set pieces, control with the game. We definitely need a long-term 6. We definitely need a long-term sort of Maguire and long-term Varane successor, long-term Casemiro successor. We need a little bit of cover for sort of Martinez as well in case he does get injured. We definitely need another winger to compete with Rashford and Garnacho, because the drop-off to Antony's not good enough. There's definitely a lot of things that need to happen, but United are 6 points off 5th with 15 games to go. They've got Villa away next, which will be a massive test, and the only team to beat them there in the last year and a half has been obviously Newcastle. But if they go and beat Villa away, they're 3 points behind Villa in 5th with 14 games to go. 5th place gets you in the Champions League. That shouldn't be the standard of United, but 5th place will get you in the UCL this season. Villa have European games. Arsenal have European games. Not that they're going to catch them. But Brighton have European games. West Ham have European games. There's a chance for United, with their strongest side back, fingers crossed Martinez is not injured, to really make a run, progress, and make some things happen. And I think there was a lot of positives to take from today's game. I really do. This is United's longest unbeaten run this season, and they've got 11 goals in the last 3 games. Hojlund 5 in his last 5 games, and an absolute brilliant performance from him today. And then Garnacho, wow, Garnacho gets a brace. Hojlund gets 5 and 5, and Kobbie Mainoo, 18 years of age, winning it last game. The youth at Manchester United is absolutely incredible. They've got 3 really talented young players. I thought McTominay's better role has clearly come off the bench, goal and assist. He's not good enough to start games. He doesn't offer control, but when he comes off the bench, he can help with set pieces, and he gives the opposition something different to think about. I think there was a lot of positives, but I do want to talk about Alejandro Garnacho. I think it's only fair that we do talk about Garnacho, and then we will talk about some of the worrying things, the negative things, because it wasn't the best performance. I think defensively we were solid. I thought the fullbacks were very good, but I do think we conceded a lot of chances in midfield. And Casemiro is really good for us in the final third, really good for us in the attacking sense, but defensively he's not covered the ground. I did see at moments where Mason Mount would potentially fit in as well, with in terms of trying to break West Ham down, particularly in that first half. But I think man of the match has to be Garnacho because he got 2, but Hojlund is up there as well, and Delo had an absolutely unreal game. But I want to sort of dive into a little bit more about the game and a little bit more of a review, and I want to talk about Garnacho. I saw fans giving Garnacho a stick, and I thought, mate, this guy is raw. This guy's 18 now, 19. He's like Ronaldo at 18, 19. He's going to have good games. He's going to have bad games. He's going to have inconsistency. But if you don't see the quality in Garnacho, I don't see where you're at. There's so much quality in Garnacho, so much that he can bring. And I think he shows what it means to be a United player because he works so hard. He works so hard for the side. He dribbles. He runs at people. He wants to make things happen. He wants to score. He's direct. Sometimes he doesn't have the best games. Sometimes he has really good games. But there's no doubt there's quality in there. No doubt at all there's quality in Alejandro Garnacho. And at the right wing, he's really showing his presence. Laurie Whitwell said that Garnacho's now gone 19 starts in a row under Erik ten Hag, and he's picking himself because he's delivering in the attacking third. He's still 19 years old, but he's really matured and showed his quality. Presence on the right-hand side, somewhere that we've lacked, somewhere that he never played in the academy. He's now come in the right-hand side creating. Only 3 Premier League players have created more big chances than Garnacho since he moved to the right wing, and creating chances was something our wingers were not doing. We're still not doing enough of it, but you see the sense like that, and he's, again, so young, and that is our best front three, Rashford, Hojlund, Garnacho. Instantly, you take Antony out, you bring Garnacho on the right-hand side, and teams now realise that Man United are threatening on both sides. When we used to play Antony, teams used to press against us to push us down the right-hand side, so Antony would get a lot more of the ball because they didn't see him as a threat. Now teams see both Rashford and Garnacho as a threat, that they don't push us either side, and we've got threats down both wings, which is super, super important. And Garnacho brought a lot of that. But I also want to be positive about ten Hag. Yes, we're still not seeing a lot, but what I see from ten Hag is what he wants to do, what he's trying to do in this game, and what we couldn't do, but the team physically lacks it. You know, Casemiro can't cover the ground, is defensively a little bit naive for ten Hag's system. We lack players with the athleticism to do what ten Hag wants to do, but I do think eventually replacing Casemiro and bringing in a top DM, obviously Casemiro is our best DM, but for now he's better than McTominay, he's better than Amrabat, with a long-term replacement for Casemiro, a long-term replacement for sort of the Maguire, Varane, Lindelof. We need a right centre back to go with Martinez. I love Varane. I'm happy to keep Varane another season 100%, but can stay fitter. But we see a lot of positives, and I think, other than not bringing Amad Diallo on, I was very happy with ten Hag today. I don't think he got much wrong. Probably, other than bringing on Antony, his blind faith in Antony could cost him. But there wasn't really much negative to take from the game. Unless you guys are seeing something else, I thought Delo was brilliant. That last-ditch tackle he made, I think Delo and Luke Shaw have been some of the best players the last few games. The big problem was Delo, Maguire, Martinez, Shaw had to make a lot of last-ditch tackles because the ball was being played through the midfield, which I didn't like. But I thought, wow, happy with this game, happy with this performance. Set pieces, not good enough. Set piece defending, not good enough. Areas that we lack, but the young players, there's talent at United, and there's something I can see to build up and build around. And that's all I wanted to see. I said, you know what, I'm not even bothered so much about results anymore between now and the end of the season, because I wrote it off in my head. But I said, if I can see something now at United to build off, to build around, I will be happy. We looked comfortable at the end. I don't think we were tactically great, and I don't think we had a lot of control, and we did give away a lot of silly shots. But we dominated at both ends at the end of the day, and you've got to give Hojlund, Garnacho, Leach, Martinez and Delo a lot of credit. 3 points against a tough side. People forget that West Ham are a very, very good team this season. People forget the Wolves are a very good team this season. They're not easy games to win, and we beat them. And I think Kobbie, Mainoo, boosh. Diego Delo, boosh. Luke Shaw, boosh. Lots and lots of positives, scoring 2 to 4 goals regularly. Now we've got that front three up as well. Lots of positives today. Smash a like, smash a subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.